Hello, I'm Luke. Welcome to another episode of the Vision to Victory podcast, where we discuss becoming the best, most authentic you so you can live with purpose, passion, and joy. Last week, we talked about finding clarity and focus with who and what you want to be known as. Understand the reality that who and what we want to be known for is often not what we're communicating. In other words, I might say something with one intent or do something with one intent, but it's received on the other end as something different. And we talked about just being clear on what we want to be known for, and then figuring out how to make sure that we are communicating that and that it's aligned with who we are and who we want to be. So today, I want to talk about who we want to be, not who we want to be known for, but who do we actually want to be? And since I think that the best way to get clear on who and what you want to be known for is to be clear on who you are and what your values are, I want to spend a few minutes today on the topic of selling out. Now, being a sellout is typically used in a negative way. Like if you grew up in a city and were a fan of the local sports team, and then you move to another city and you change your allegiance to that sports team, your friends back home might call you a sellout since you no longer support the home team. But when it comes to transforming your life into everything it could and should become, selling out is the only way. So in the context of transforming your life, in the context of pursuing change and pursuing the best you, what does it mean to sell out? It means a few things. Number one, your new life will cost you your old one. Your new life will cost you your old one. In other words, what you've done in the past and how you've done it, it's supported that version of you, that past version of you, but it will not be sufficient for the future you. If you're going to become the best, most alive version of yourself, the person you were created to be, you will need to sell out to the new you. And again, it will cost you the old version of yourself. Number two, closely related to the first, is you will need to burn the boats. Now, burn the boats comes from the true story of the Spanish conquistador Hernan Cortez, who in 1519, when he landed in Mexico, famously ordered his men to burn the ships so that retreat was not an option. It was either conquer or die. And this is the approach that we have to take when it comes to the non-negotiable changes that are needed to become the new you. Look, maybe it's an addiction you know you need to get help with and deal with. Maybe it's that group of people that you hang out with whose values don't align with or support who you want to be and who you're becoming. Maybe it's the dead-end relationship that you've already stayed too long in because it's comfortable, even though you know you'll never be the version of you that you're meant to be, that you want to be, as long as you're in that relationship. Maybe it's overeating or eating garbage food or not exercising. Maybe it's comparison, gossip, or endless scrolling, and you know you need to do a social media detox and maybe delete it all off your phone. I promise you will survive and you'd be better for it. But whatever it is that is holding you back, we need to acknowledge it, be honest about what needs to be done to address it, and take action. Burn the boats. We want to make it hard to go back to the old way of doing things. I've shared many times about my, journey of quitting drinking. And look, whatever it is for you, in that example, for me, it's like having alcohol in the house is obviously that wouldn't make sense. If I'm making the decision to quit drinking, there's no point in having alcohol in the house. Obviously, that sounds obvious, but it's shocking to me how we can rationalize things. And, if you have an issue eating junk food, but you keep buying junk food at the store, guess what? You're going to eat it. So whatever it looks like to burn the boats and uh, make it difficult to go back to the old way of doing things, we want to do whatever that is. And number three, when it comes to selling out, it means accepting and pushing through opposition. As we discussed a few weeks ago, if you set out to make positive change in your life, you will always run into opposition. Whether external factors, internal voices of self-doubt, in my experience, it's usually a combination of both, it is inevitable that there will be a temptation to fall back to the old way of doing things. This is why anything we can do to burn the boats and make it hard to go back is so important. I've shared a lot about my own journey through hardship, addiction, divorce, insecurity, death of a loved one. And I can confidently say that the best parts of my life have come on the other side of selling out and burning the boats. So I want to leave you with this thought. Last week, I mentioned a quote from Roy Baden that I really like. It says, "You're most powerfully positioned to serve the person you once were." Now, I talk a lot about finding purpose and fulfillment in life and how it comes through using our gifts and talents to serve others. And I want to double down on that and say the best way to find purpose is to sell out to becoming who you're meant to be, and then helping people who are coming behind you on the same journey. So today, what is one thing that you need to remove from your life? What is the one thing that is holding you back? And what action can you take to burn the boats and move forward? The future you is counting on you today to have the courage to do the difficult thing. It's usually not going to be easy, but it will always be worth it. If this was helpful for you, or you know someone who needs it, share it with somebody. Like, subscribe. I hope you have a blessed day.